Titanic, a screenplay by James Cameron.
248. Exterior, Palm Court.
Jack and Rose run out of the Palm Court into a dense crowd. Jack pushes his way to the rail and looks at the state of the ship.
The bridge is underwater and there's chaos on the deck. Jack helps her put her life belt on. People stream around them, shouting and pushing. Jack.
Okay, we keep moving. We have to stay on the ship as long as possible. This is not the end of the world. Rose?
Why am I not keen to trust that right now? Jack. Faith was never your strong side, Rose. Everything will be just fine.
Rose, how can you even say that?
Jack, look around you. Do you really think all these people would be this calm if it was the end? Jack smiles and they push their way through the panicking crowd. Cut to
$249, exterior, forward, funnel.
collapsible A is wiggled like a leaf in the current around the sinking ship. It slams against the side of the forward funnel. Yeah. Parentheses. To the crew in the boat.
Row, you bastards. 250 nearby.
Fabrizio is drawn up against the grating of the Stockholm wind as the water purrs through it. He struggles to free himself, but cannot. Suddenly, there is a concession deep in the bowels of the ship as a furnace explodes and the blast belches out of the ventilator, ejecting Fabrizio.
He surfaces in a roar of foam and keeps swimming, although he is bleeding and half his face has been blown away. The blood slowly tints the water red. Cut to
$249.
251.
$251. Exterior. A deck, B deck, well deck, aft. Jack and Rose clamber over the A deck aft rail. Then, using all his strength, he lowers her toward the deck below, holding one with one hand. She daggers, then falls. Jack jumps down behind her. Jack.
We're leaving together. Rose. But still, it's farewell. They jump.
The cross of people literally crawling and scrambling over each other to get down the narrow stairs to the well deck, the only way aft. Jack hauls Rose to her feet.
Jack drops down, and the three of them push through the crowd across the well deck. Near them, at the rail, People are jumping into the water.
Rose, laughing. Maybe we'll come back to Earth someday. Yeah. There's so many light years to go, Rose. We are leaving ground.
The ship groans and shudders. The man ahead of Jack is walking like a zombie. Man. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
Jack, you want to walk a little faster through that valley, fella?
Man. I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left.
Jack kicks him in the back, and the man falls like a sack of hay on the floor. While Jack is passing him, he kicks him again, and while leaning in Jack is spitting the man in the face.
Rose grabbed Jack in the arm, while Jack tried to kick the bloody man in the head one more time.
There's a loud crack from when Jack's foot is breaking through the man's jawbone. Rose is silently mouthing sorry to pray the man as Jack and Rose make their way forward through the crowd. Cut to.
$253. Interior, boat, deck, foyer, grand staircase. Water roars through the doors and windows, cascading down the stairs like a rapids.
John Jacob Astor is swept down the larder steps to A deck, which is already floated, eroding the vortex. He grabs the headless cherub of the bottom of the staircase and wraps his arm around it whilst he wishes that God do not see him and think it was him who beheaded the winged baby.
He can see the planes. Står ikke på engelsk? Hvad er det, du forstår?
Jeg er ikke så god til engelsk.
Det er okay.
Fortsæt.
Ja. He can see the planes carrying the bombs swarming in on him. In a hushed voice, he says to his only friend, the beheaded wooden cherub.
Hushed voice.
Hvad?
Hushed voice. Hushed, hvad fanden betyder det?
Hush.
Not hush.
Ja. John Jacob Astor.
I love you. I hope you know that. And I'm so sad that you got no head.
The cherub does not answer, and John Jacob Astor continues. John Jacob Astor.
Sleep now, friend, and dream an android dream of electric sheep. That is all creatures like us can do. John Jacob Astor looks up in time to see the 30-foot glass dome overhead explodes inward with a wave of water washing over it.
It is like a nuclear bomb, blasting every last piece of furniture away like an Armageddon of elegance. Cut to.
$255. Interior below decks. The floating is horrific. Walls and doors are splintered like kindling. Water roars down corridors with pile driver force.
The Cardinal family is at the top of a stairwell, jammed against a locked gate like Jack and Rose were. Bert Campbell shakes the gate futilely, shouting for help. Little Cora wails as the machine swells up around them all.
Jack, help her. She is stuck in that machine.
Rose, we can't help everyone, Jack. Jack.
It is the end of the world. We have to stick together.
Rose, that is where you are wrong. No one takes an interest in anybody else. Jack.
Then we have no chance. Then this would be the human destruction. I take an interest, Rose.
In that interest, you are all alone, just as we are all alone in ours. Let that girl die at the hand of the machine. In one sense, it is beautiful.
Jack, in what way? Rose, extension will save the earth, not destroy it.
Jack, what about us? Rose, one day we shall die, all other days we shall not.
You know that, you have known that your whole life. Jack, come on, Rose, let's go. This is a scene I do not dare to see. The little girl has now a lot of steel pipes in that steel pipe that pierced her body,
which makes her scream at the top of her lungs. Her father tries to pull her loose, but it only makes the pain stronger.
After a few more pulls in the savage little body, the father turns to the daughter, and we see him in a close-up looking down at her. Bert Cartmel.
Soon you will be in a better place, my love.
The girl, please, father, no. Bert Carmichael. It is for your own good. Tell your mother I love her.
The camera follows Jack and Rose running down the corridor. In the background, we see Bert Cartmel taking a steel pipe and start to smash the little girl's face in. Cut 2.
.256. Extern stern. Rose and Jack struggle to climb the well-deck stairs as the ship tilts. Drunk, Baker Joplin puts a hand squarely on Rose's spot and shoves her up onto the deck. Joplin.
Sorry, miss. Hundreds of people are already on the poop deck, and more are pouring up every second.
Jack and Rose cling together as they struggle across the tilting deck. Jack.
I'm sorry you are so sad.
Rose. But I'm not. Sometimes these moods torture me for weeks, for months, but I'm good now. If you can soldier on, then so can I. Jack.
I'm not soldiering on. I'm fine. Rose. I hear the song of your sadness.
Jack. I'm not sad. Rose.
Then why are you crying? It's all right. I understand.
Jack. I'm not sure I do. Rose. You don't have to.
You are embracing death, Jack. Just let it come to me and don't try to fight.
Jack, what do you mean?
Jack is crying, but is not saying anything. Rose. It's okay to cry, Jack. Cry until you run out of tears. And lift your head.
257. As the bow goes down, the stern rises in the boat. People are jumping from the well deck, the poop deck, and the gangway doors.
Some hit the freeze in the water and are hurt or killed. It is not fair, but in one way it is their own fault.
If they would have care for the if they had cared for the unsinkable ship better and made an effort together, then maybe this would not be their destiny.
258 omitted. 259 omitted.
260 extern stern. On the poop deck, Jack and Rose struggle aft as the angle increases. Hundreds of passengers clinging to every fixed object on the deck huddle on their knees. They are
praying, sobbing, or just staring at nothing, their minds blank with dread. Dread. Rædsel.
Pulling him up from handhold to handhold, Jack tugs Rose aft along the deck. Jack, come on, Rose. We can't expect God to do all the work for us.
They struggle on, pushing through the praying people. A man loses his footing ahead and slides toward them. Jack helps him.
Rose, let him go, Jack. He is not your burden. Jack, I can't. Rose, yes you can.
It's too late for him anyway. Jack, I can't. Rose, he will never make it in the wild. He will freeze
to death in just a few minutes. Jack let go of the man who falls into the water. Father Biles, I will make those who are of the synagogue of Satan to claim to be Jews true. They are not, but are liars.
Liars.
I will make them come and fall down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. Rose.
Father, you are taking the coward's way out. Rose looks into the priest's eyes just as he slits his own throat, and she sees herself being covered by shining liquid.
The mirror liquid pours down Rose's throat as he screams, and we travel down his throat with it, and then get swallowed by total darkness.
The stern goes up and up, past 45 degrees, then past 60.
People start to fall, sliding and tumbling. They slide down the deck, screaming and failing to grab onto something. They wrench other people loose and pull them down as well. There is a pile up of bodies at the forward rail. Jack.
We have to move.
Kan du ikke skrue lidt op? Jack pulls Rose over the rail. It is the same place he put her over the rail 2 nights earlier, going the other direction.
She gets over just as the railing is going horizontal and the deck vertical. Jack grips her fiercely.
Rose lies on the railing, looking down 15 stories to the boiling sea at the base of the stern section.
People near them who didn't climb over hang from the railing, their legs dangling over the long drop. They fall one by one,
plumbing down to the vertical face of the pub deck. Some of them bounce horribly off the deck benches and ventilators.
The final relentless plunge begins as the stern section floats.
Looking down, 100 feet to the water, we drop like an elevator with Jack and Rose. Jack turns to Rose and say with a childlike face, Jack.
Why are there no one doing anything? Rose. There is nothing to do. Nothing.
Jack. But, Rose, once there was something before the unsinkable ship started her journey. Jack, what?
Rose. But there was too few too late. For you and me, this was always the end.
Jack, we can still make it. Rose, no, but we will try. Let's jump. The water looks lovely.
Jack, talking fast. This is what we do. Take a deep breath and hold it right before we go into the water. The ship will suck us down. Kick for the surface and keep kicking. Don't let go of my hand. We're gonna make it, Rose.
She stares at the water coming up at them and grips her hand harder. Rose, and if you don't, it's okay. Jack, trust me. Rose, I trust you. Very short.
278. In a high shot, we see the stern descend into the boiling sea. The name Titanic disappears, and the tiny figures of Jack and Rose vanish under the water.
Where the ship stood, now there is nothing, only the black ocean cut through.
Bodies are whirled and spun. Some limp as dolls, others struggling spasmodically as the vortex sucks them down and tumbles them. 280.
Spasmodically. Hvad? Spasme?
Det lyder som det der.
Ja.
Ja.
Ja, lige.
Tjekker du det?
Ja.
Er der noget, jeg ved, hvad spasmodically?
Ja.
Eller spasmos?
Spasmodically.
Spasm.
Det er jo sådan en polka.
Hvad siger du?
Det er en polka.
Eller?
Ja, det er en spasse. Det er en spasse.
Okay.
Ja. 280. Jack rises into the frame of FG, kicking hard for the surface, holding tightly to Rose, who is kicking for her life.
Although they are fighting with all their might, the unsinkable ship is far too strong. They fight for a minute or two, and then, just as everyone else gets pulled down to the unavoidable depth.
We see how their bodies is whirled around without a trace of life. A close-up shows the emptiness of Jack's eyes.
The dark sea is calm again as the ice is slowly melting. Ja. Tag en hver.
Nej, vi mangler her noget.
Solen er så rød, og
Skoven bliver så sort. Nu er solen død, mor, og dagen gået bort. Ræven går derude, mor, vi låser vores gang. Kom, sæt dig ved min side, mor, og syng en lille sang. Himlen er så stor, mor, med klare stjerner på. Hvem må tro, der bor, mor, på stjernen i det blå? Tror du, det er drengemor, der kigger ned på mig? Og tror du, de har sengemor og sover ligesom jeg? Hvorfor bliver det nat, mor, med kold og bitter vind? Hør den lille kat, mor, den jager og vil ind. Må